Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I wanted to talk about how I do an art supply reset at the end of the year for the next coming year. And these are just sort of some of the things I do. I'm sure there's a lot more, but I put together as much as possible. So one of the first things I start working on right away is my watercolor supplies. So this is what my palettes look like that I used all year long. And this is from July, this is from October. I can clearly see what I used when. This is September for sure. And I clean these up. I scrub these up. I get rid of all the pigment. I don't save anything. Eventually the pigment starts to clump if left on here for about 6 months for me. So I can't really reuse it. It acts all wonky. And I clean these up. So this one is in fact porcelain, and this one is plastic, and this is for if I'm running out of space or I'm saving pigment for another month, I will grab this one. So this one, because it's plastic, it stains, and apologies, I have a magic eraser. I use this for a lot of different things when cleaning art supplies. Basically, a magic eraser is heat compressed melamine foam. And this is the stuff that's used in like acoustic insulator in recording studios. So if your country doesn't sell these, I would see about where they do like music and stuff, and maybe you can get a little scrap piece. But I use this to clean the staining on plastic. And it's the same for this foldable cup. You can see I haven't cleaned anything. I kind of just wanted to show you how everything actually looks at the end of the year for me. So this I will clean and scrub, and then if there's any staining, I use a magic eraser. I use a magic eraser for my sketchbooks. If they are dirty, and I apologize if that sound is grating, but I am able to clean off dirt from the back of my sketchbook from being on my desk if my desk has dry pigment and charcoal and graphite and stuff on it. The other thing I need to go through and do is to make sure all my sketchbooks are clearly labeled. So I did 2 drawing challenges in here and didn't denote any of them. So I'm going to put both drawing challenges the year. The other thing I need to do is sort of a smudge test in my sketchbooks where I have used sort of powdered mediums and make sure that I did enough spray fixative and that there isn't going to be transfer or pigment. Sometimes chalks sit directly on the page and they fall off over time. So you can see there's already transfer. This one needs to be sprayed better. So I get out my spray fixative and I make sure all my sketchbooks are sprayed properly before storing and putting them away. So I clean all my brushes thoroughly, like a deep, deep clean. This is my favorite brush cleaner that I use. I check all my pens. Sometimes my pens are running low on ink and I just set them aside because I'm so in the groove of drawing and creating, and it's like, oh yeah, I'll just come back to that and reassess that later. So I check my pens to make sure they have ink, make sure their nibs are okay, and if not, I dump them. And then I'm going through and slowly getting rid of things that I don't use. So I don't use my nib pens. And while I used the General's chalk pencils, I'm actually ready to part with them. And I have the 36, but I don't care for them. So this is sort of a shoebox of things I am going to these will probably be tossed, but these will be donated. So I'm going to go through my supplies and really hone down what I love using, and if it's something that made me super angry, and it was pretty much just this one product, I'm going to get rid of it out of my inventory and all the supplies I own. There's kind of no sense in keeping things that you don't enjoy using or you don't like how they perform. And maybe this, not this one specifically just because of the quality, but some things can be swapped with other artists. So reach out to folks in your community, folks from different education facilities. I know sometimes art teachers and things are really talented in the art field, and maybe they have some supplies they're no longer using and be willing to do a swap. Like maybe I can trade these nib pens for a tube of watercolor since I use a ton of watercolors. There's tons of different things to do, but basically I clean off my desk. I throw away any lingering trash. I make sure to file and organize and put my sketchbooks away in a manner that mold and sort of humidity I make sure that there's space between my sketchbooks so they can breathe. They can't really sit up against each other. So I have to make sure that everything is filed and organized in a manner, and then just start going through different desk supplies and seeing, like, is this used up? I'm pretty sure this is. Yeah, see, I scraped my nail to get extra glue out. I have some stuff that's just been sitting on my desk that, you know, for full transparency, things sit on my desk because I'm constantly doing a drawing challenge and working on other projects. So this is how I redo my year. I make sure everything's clean, everything's put away, everything's organized, everything I have I love. And then when I start the new year, if an idea comes to me and I suddenly want to watercolor or do something, everything is cleaned off. All my favorite brushes are clean, and I'm ready to go again. And I think this is a great way to start the year. Now, you don't have to wait for January 1st. I know for some folks, sort of the New Year thing can be considered kind of arbitrary. It just depends on how you look at it. Some people do monthly resets. I do a whole year reset, and I just dedicate half a day to cleaning and organizing and make sure all my pens work and everything's looking good. Just because I have a bit of an inventory of art supplies. And I've taken my inventory, coming off the heels of a year-long no-buy art supply, in case you find this video sort of out of context. But here is the full inventory of all the art supplies I own. So I own a few supplies, and the longer and better you treat them, the longer they last. So take care of what you have, and it'll take care of your art. Make sure you have the proper cleaning supplies or different things you think might be really beneficial to keep in and around your desk. I use a magic eraser to clean my desk sometimes. Like, I'll wipe my desk down and then I'll create with like graphite powder or something like this product, and the powder will get everywhere, and then just a swipe of this will clean it up. So I have stuff around my desk, and some of this really needs to be scrubbed. I also need to check my acrylic palette. I need to check everything. I need to go sort of shelf by shelf and make sure everything is cleaned and organized and good to go. And then I can kind of see what in packaging and other products that I have organized with my art supplies that I haven't been using that maybe I can now part with. So it's kind of a declutter, and sometimes I completely reorganize how I organize my supplies, and it's like I have a whole new set of art supplies. So I hope this video helps. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.